Surgery done.
Sorry, we're live. Sorry, I am live with former Strikeforce and UFC champion Luke Rockhold. Luke, thank you so much for doing this. We're here to talk about your new film. It's called Cage Fighter Worlds Collide, and it's out here on May 16th on Fight TV. It's pay-per-view. We'll be posting the link under this interview. What part do you play in the film?
I played Tony Gunn. Tony Gunn is he's like a secondary coach. So I don't want to fill in too much on the situation, but you know, he comes in and Chuck is the main coach, and I come in as the secondary option, and we change it up, kind of change up the training routine and give him a different perspective. And
I see. So you're also Alex Montanani's coach, but later on in the film when he ditches Chuck.
Yeah, yes, exactly. I'm not sure how informed you are, but yes. He ditches Chuck and he comes to the West Coast, comes to my side of town, and we teach him a few things here and there, you know?
Amazing. And was it actually filmed in your gym?
Absolutely not. It was filmed in Regina, Saskatchewan, and it was cold. It was about.
Oh wow!
I mean, some days were like minus 23, 25 degrees. It was pretty brutal with the wind chill. I remember me and Chuck tried to walk to a restaurant, maybe like a couple 100 yards away from the hotel, and just free, like you couldn't feel your ears and your nose, just frostbitten, and basically felt like they were just about to fall off.
Must be even worse for a Cali boy.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm used to over here.
So is acting something you want to do more of?
You know, I had a good time. It was really a pleasant experience with the film. Everybody was easy to work with, and obviously it wasn't too far out of my wheelhouse, you know, with the cage fighting, Worlds Collide, and being a coach and doing this and that. So felt good. Felt, you know, I wouldn't be opposed to doing more, for sure.
And the fact that Worlds Collide is somebody from the pro wrestling world, their world colliding with the MMA world. What do you think about wrestling? Would you ever fancy a cameo on one of the big pro wrestling shows yourself?
Maybe a cameo. I don't think I'd like to get too indulge too much in it. I know Kane had mentioned it to me. Cain Velasquez is doing really well. I'm happy for him, but he's like, you want to try your hand? I'm like, I think I'm gonna take a step back on this one right now. But you know, a cameo would be something different. It might be fun.
I found it amazing that he went into that with all the injuries he's had in MMA. Like, wrestling's well known for causing terrible injuries.
Yeah, no doubt. There was there's a lot that plays into it, I'm sure, but yeah, he seems to be doing well.
And we had the pleasure of welcoming you in the UK last year for Polaris when you were in Wales. What did you make of Wales?
Wales is nice. It's not London. It's a bit slower. All my ventures over have really been circulating around London, but this was my first time out. It was a beautiful countryside. It was nice to go out there and get out there. A lot of good people, and yeah, it was cool. It's cool.
You made a funny comment about the match. You said that you came there for a tango and you ended up with a line dance. That made me laugh. I guess you're a bit frustrated with modern day grapplers. Yeah.
I mean, if it's just the thing with grappling, especially on the end of that setting, and you go against a guy who's predominantly a wrestler and is not going to engage with me. I think you set certain boundaries around the wrestling. You know, you set wrestling rules into the grappling circuit, because in grappling you can just run off the mat and you don't get deducted points if you don't engage in the wrestling. So it's like everything I had to present it to him, I was like, I wanted to get to a Greco position, upper body position, but every time I would get an underhook, you just run off the mat.
Yeah.
If you do that in wrestling, you get it. It's called fleeing the mat. You get a point deduction, and so I got frustrated with that, and we got the headbutt, and then I got distracted, and then he got his takedown, and then he just kind of stalled and got away from me the rest of the time. So I wanted to go, and I didn't feel the same, from him. I think he just was looking to point it out and do what he needed. But I wanted to engage, and I wanted to choke the dude out.
Maybe sub only is the way to go.
Sub only, but I mean, you just got to enforce engagement. I think that's the biggest thing with especially with having a small mat and a surface where people can fall off. It's like you got to force people to engage, or else they're going to lose points, and then different things. You never know. Maybe we'll start our own promotion and do something different, more fan. Just for fun. I mean, I like to make things more fair, change it up, make it more entertaining too at the same time. So there's people that are dabbling with it. You never know. Yeah,
I know Eddie Bravo's always trying to come up with ways to make people engage more, and like the kind of Eddie Bravo overtime rules and that kind of thing. Yeah.
I think there's a lot of flaws with modern grappling, but make it more fan friendly. I think I'm not a big fan of butt scooting. I think you have to earn your takedowns, of course.
Yeah.
And I think there's a lot that can change, but
I can see why that would be frustrating coming from the MMA side of things as well.
Yeah. It was a cool experience to go over there and try it out, but it's frustrating in so many ways too. Yeah. And
will it put you off doing more of them with the same rule set?
I would I just choose my opponent wisely. I might do another one, and maybe no. You never know. Once I get healed up over here.
Yeah. So tell me, I can't ignore the sling any longer. What's happened here?
I've had a shoulder injury for some time, and it's just been I've been compromised, and so I figured now is a better time than any to get it done. So it was a labrum tear and a bit of a rotator cuff. So
did you manage to have that done before lockdown, or is your lockdown not as strict as our lockdown?
I got it right before things got crazy.
Okay.
So yes. So yeah.
What is lockdown life like for you? Because your kitchen behind you looks spectacular.
Yeah, there's a lot of kitchen time, a lot of cooking. We've joined me and two of my friends have joined forces over here, and we all got a little business office desk kind of thing going on here, and we all joined forces and put together some good meals and try to keep each other somewhat productive and happy in this time. So
like a little WeWork office.
The problem is we've covered up the pool table, and that's the biggest. That's one of my.
Oh no!
You gotta have every outlet you can. So.
100%. Well, I couldn't have you on without talking about some of your MMA accolades. You obviously achieved the highest that you can in the sport: Strikeforce gold, UFC gold. One thing that always amazes me is that you never fought Anderson Silva. Was it baffling to you when you came in as Strikeforce champ for them not to make the champ versus champ fight immediately?
I mean, it wasn't baffling. I was just, I don't think I had any respect from them at that time.
Why do you think that was?
I don't know. I came up quickly and I beat Jacare, and there was just not a lot of noise. Rather than Jacare was very hyped up, and instead of giving me the respect I deserved for beating him, I feel like a lot of people took that away from me back then.
Yeah.
I think Jacare was ranked at, they're comparing him to the best and put him in the top 3 and 4 in the world. And then when I beat him, I remember the ranking system, they put me outside the top 10 after beating him and then put him behind me. It's pretty interesting how that played. But yeah, I don't think there's a lot of respect. I came in and they made me fight Vitor Belfort on steroids in Brazil. It was
yeah, when he was legally juicing.
You want to earn your spot? It's we're going to send you down to Brazil and fight Vitor in the south of Brazil in some industrial city that no one had ever heard about. And he's going to be like a superhuman. So have fun.
How's it?
I was oh, right on. let's go get this done. And then, I got caught and reset myself. And I think I put myself on the map after the next couple fights.
Well, so you had to have 4 more fights before you got your shot at UFC Gold. Yeah, it's just it was the long road, wasn't it? But you made it, no matter what they put in front of you.
Yeah, it's life. You gotta take it as it comes, and move on. So this is I'm used to the tough times. That's to say, trying to get through this one too.
We know that you're on a leave of absence from fighting at the moment. That's how I've heard you term it. What would make you come back? Would a fight with Anderson make you come back? Or a rematch with anyone?
A lot of interesting choices. We'll see.
We're from England. I've got to mention the B name at some point.
Bisping he has no urge to fight. We can't go there.
He'll never get signed off by a commission again, I don't think, after popping his eye out on on his podcast.
But
I know
I lost the urge, but if Anderson's still interested, and seemingly he is, maybe, you never know. Weidman's got a fight coming up, so if he comes out of that, well, you never know. I don't know. There's options, and I just got to get healthy.
Yeah.
For me, it's getting healthy and getting everything right, and just taking some time off. I've been pushing it so hard for 15 years in the sport, so it's nice to have a break. It's just kind of mentally, it's freeing, and get focused on some other things I can do, and there's a lot to maintain. Keep up with.
How many fights have you got left on your UFC contract? Could you get released by them? I've got a feeling you'd love to fight for Scott Coker again.
There's fights. There's quite a few fights left. I never know how things work. So we'll see. We'll see how the UFC and everyone comes out of this coronavirus epidemic. Yeah. It's going to bury a lot of companies, and I'm curious to see how these fights come to be.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on Fight Island?
I mean, if a fight's going to happen in the States anywhere, it's going to be in Florida somewhere, off the coast.
It's crazy there.
Yeah. I can.
You should know, because you trained with Henry Hooft in Florida. So what is Florida really like?
I can contest to that. Yeah, I think
it is.
I love Henry, and I love the team out there, and it was a great experience. Florida's not my vibe, but
fair enough. This is live on Facebook, and we've got a few fan questions. If you've got enough time to answer a few of those, Luke.
Yep, let's do
it. Peter would like to know, if you could change one rule in MMA, what would it be?
A rule. I would, I'm not going to say the rule. I would change the gloves. I think the UFC gloves they're the worst. They're so behind the times.
Yeah.
And I would update that and give them some curvature and just more form fitting. It's like putting on, it's so uncomfortable. You can't make a proper fist, and there's Bellator gloves supersede the UFC gloves, and that makes no sense.
Yeah, there certainly seem to be far too many eye pokes.
It's not even about the eye pokes. It's just about the gloves. They're archaic. I don't know. They need to be, a lot of things need to be fixed. I think, rule wise, it's hard to say. I don't see too many rules at this point. I could change right off the bat.
Somebody else wanted to know, Bart wanted to know, he's Dutch, and he wanted to know the best thing that Henry Hooft taught you.
The best thing that Henry taught me. I think that Henry is, what you get from Henry is Henry's always so hungry. And that's the way you want to be around as a coach, that's always hungry and is always eager to learn. And every time you come in, he comes in with different different outlook, a different perspective, and that's what it takes to like keep continuing and getting that hunger to go in every day. And I think Henry's passion for the sport is the biggest thing, and he presents so many different options and has grown, you know, the stand up to where it is now. I mean, he's taken so many guys, so I think that's his biggest attribute.
Yeah. How you've overcome loss in your career?
What's that?
How you've overcome losses in your career?
It's part of life, you know. Life is presents obstacles, and you gotta take them, you gotta learn from them, and you gotta push forward. And if you don't seem to exist. So I mean, everybody, the best people in the world in any realm, any sport, any business, they take losses and they learn from them, and they become something more. And if you see anybody at the top of business and the top of sport, all those people have taken losses, except for Khabib.
Yeah, this is actually something that I wanted to ask you, and I forgot. Is the highlight of your career being the Strikeforce champ for the first time, or the UFC champ for the first time?
I think both, really. You know, honestly, the Strikeforce championship meant so much to me at that time. It was like an overwhelming moment. Like
I love your celebration for that.
Yeah, I've never cried like that, you know, after a fight. I remember it was a hard one to like just to take in. And it was so much more. I was more prepared for the UFC, so that was.
Yeah. We don't often see you like outwardly show a lot of emotion, so I just really like that Strikeforce celebration.
Long hair, just.
Yeah. Oh my God, you look so young as well. Looking back at it, like you know, doing research for this, like feels like a long time ago now.
Such a kid back then. That was funny. I remember. I used to grow out my hair just to piss everybody off.
Really? Why?
Just because a certain look that everyone just wanted to blast me with.
Two final questions: surfing or skating?
I was more of a skateboarder growing up. That's why I like, you know, and I like surfing though a lot too. So, but skateboarding was like, I think I used it a lot more when I was growing up through high school. It's always, in skateboarding, it's always 6 foot and glassy. you can't always rely on the ocean to produce. So a lot of issues growing up, and skateboarding was a great way to just take it out on myself. I used to go to the skate park every day and just try to hurt myself.
Really? That's what you had the long hair for then?
I wanted to go fast. I wanted to go hard, go fast, and do everything as hard and as fast and as big as I could.
It sounds like they could make a film about your life then.
Maybe one day. There's a lot left to do. We'll see.
Oh, sorry, they're coming in thick and fast. Who can you see holding middleweight gold at the end of next year?
Middleweight gold. I mean, it's gonna be. We'll see. We'll see. I mean, the Costa kid looks pretty hard to beat right now. Stylistically, I think it's a favorable matchup for him and Israel, but Israel's length and keep him at distance, and we'll see. That's going to be a very interesting fight. I'm excited to see that, but we'll see. I think they both have got a fair shot at it.
Do you watch a lot of fighting outside of, you know, when you're competing, and just to see who your next matchups would be? Are you interested in watching it?
Yeah, of course. Especially right now, because there's nothing else to do. Like,
you'd be amazed how many fighters don't actually watch MMA.
Yeah, I mean, I don't watch it, like replay all that, but like if there's a new event and people I'm excited to see, I'm still enjoy it. Definitely. I still like to get in there. Catch a lot of friends. I have a lot of friends in MMA, so it's like I know so many people, so it's I'm engaged in that too, for sure.
Mason wants to know if you think DC will get his trilogy against Stipe.
I do believe this will happen. Yes.
Do you? DC said he was going to retire at 40, didn't he? And then I believe he could be 41 now. How much of an extension for COVID-19 are we giving him?
Yeah, right. We'll see it. We'll see how this drags out. Everyone's saying there's like a second wave, and so I don't know.
I don't believe MMA retirements anyway. People always come back for more.
That's why I just kept my mouth shut.
Well, yeah, I noticed that's exactly what you called it, a leave of absence.
Well, people just do it just to seek attention, and so I'm not trying to like make some big statement, make attention about it when I'm not sure about it. And so here we are now. I'm getting healthier, and I might be getting an itch. So we'll see.
Ah, you are getting an itch. If you might be, then you definitely
must have been Cage Fighter Worlds Collide, and all that fighting.
What is it like to do choreographed fighting in a film? Does it feel like real fighting?
I mean, a little bit. I didn't do any of the fighting myself. I was coaching it,
Right.
And they do have like the stunt coordinator, kind of working angles and trying to see stuff, and it's funny, no doubt. I was definitely helping kind of choreograph the fights and changing some things up. So
yeah, were you glad it's real fighters in it to make it a bit more authentic?
It's nice to see. Definitely, it's I think it makes the whole thing a lot more realistic and easier. Seeing Alex and getting him training with him, we trained a little bit, and he's tough dude. He can fight, and he's got a good, well-rounded skill set. So it was honestly, I didn't get on the other side of it. I didn't get to see on the other fighters, but he himself was impressed.
Yeah. Well, it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you, Luke. I think I've managed to get out of you that we're going to see you fight again. I know you're trying to stay tight-lipped, but the fact that you've got an itch, I'm sure we're going to see you back in there. So I'm going to wish you the best of skill for your next fight, whenever that may be. Good luck with the acting career. Just to refresh everyone's memory, May the 16th is when the pay-per-view comes out on Fight TV. It's for one night only, everyone. It's 7 o'clock. You're not going out, so you can download it. We'll put the ticket link below this interview and Facebook. And Luke, any final words from you?
Lucky you guys, because we don't get to see that over here in the US. So
No, I can't believe it.
It's your first live event in months, coming from a Cage Fighter Worlds Collide. Enjoy. The movie's awesome, and it's gonna be. I'm jealous. You guys get to see it, and I just get to sit back and not even watch my own movie.
Have you not seen it yet?
No, I have not seen it yet.
I'll let you know how it is.
Let me know. Everyone else, let me know. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Brilliant. Thanks for your time, Luke.
All right. Cheers.
Take care.